My name's Ben Smith, and this is my debut novel, Doggerland. Chapter 1. Bootlaces. Nothing, 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 something. Fourth hook down on the drop line, there was a dark shape. The boy stopped pulling and sat back on his heels. The swell was small that day, and it was more than 3 meters from the platform down to the sea. The boy watched as the shape stretched and buckled beneath the grey water. Strange fish, he said to no one. The wind was blowing in from the west, consistent, 10 or 11 meters per second by the feel of it, droning through the platform's pipes and grills and pushing the sea into hard ridges. The North Sea shifted from horizon to horizon, like a tarpaulin being dragged over rough ground. It looked sluggish, but under the surface, currents ripped and surged. It was hard to imagine the sheer tonnages hauling past every minute, every second. The boy wound the line around the railing until it was secure, then took hold of the hanging length, lifted it a few inches and let it fall. He moved it from side to side, but the hook was lodged. He'd have to pull it up. He moved the line again. It was heavy, whatever it was. He hoped his line wouldn't break. It had taken him a long time to get that length of cord. How long? Months? Years? He looked out at the horizon as if it would give him an answer, but couldn't even pick out where the grey of the sea became the grey of the sky. It was good cord. That was all that mattered. And 100 miles offshore, it wasn't easy to get hold of good cord. Could you even get proper fishing line anymore? The wind squalled and worked itself through the seams of his overalls. Who could he ask? The old man wouldn't know. He didn't know. And there was no one else out there. He stood up, set his feet shoulder width apart and pulled his sleeves down over his hands. He moved his hands slowly and kept the rest of his body very still, as if trying to steady himself against the motion of sea and sky. His legs were planted almost a meter apart, and his sleeves barely covered his wide, calloused palms. Of course, the boy was not really a boy, any more than the old man was all that old, but names are relative, and out in the grey, some kind of distinction was necessary. He took hold of the line and, using the rail as a fulcrum, began to haul it up out of the water. As soon as the load broke the surface, the line tightened and rasped through his sleeves. He stopped pulling for a moment and let the wind smooth the edges of the pane, then carried on pulling until the fourth hook was level with the platform. He looked down over the rail. There was a load of junk, as usual, a greasy mass of netting and plastic, streaming and reeking. The whole thing was tangled into a dense lump, along with an oil can, some polystyrene, and what looked like a burnt-out panel from a door. The boy tied off the line, straightened his back, and blew lightly on his palms. "Good catch," he said. Beside him, the thick steel support rose 20 meters to the rig. Above the rig's squat rectangular housing, the blades of the nearest turbine turned slowly in the washed-out sky. All around, to every horizon, the blades of the wind farm turned.